If you have a BMW F33 series or F32 4 series, bookmark this video because you will need this at some point. In fact, the part that we're talking about was used in quite a few BMW models around this era, so there's a good chance that your car will have this issue one day. Of course, we're talking about the notorious parking brake grinding sound, so in case you're not familiar, cars like the F33 series have a common issue where the clip that holds the parking brakes on the bottom of the car will break, and then those cables will hang down and touch the drive shaft when you accelerate, and it makes a horrible noise. That grinding is taking place right below the center console around the armrest area, which is why it sort of gets amplified into the cabin, and it's super annoying. Now, if this sounds familiar, I already covered this on the channel a few years ago, but I had already replaced the part off camera, so the original video that I made was more of an overview, and I think a lot of people were hoping I'd go more in depth on how to actually replace that part. And since then, an aftermarket company now sells an all aluminum replacement, and since the original video got a lot of attention, I kind of wanted to refilm a more thorough version of the installation and upgrade to a better quality part at the same time, and just let you know that this thing exists if you guys haven't replaced yours yet. The original BMW clip is made out of plastic, and the pieces that hold the cables are a weak point that become brittle and break with age. Even if you replace it with a new genuine BMW clip, or worse, pay the dealership $1,000 to replace it for you, it's only a matter of time before it breaks again. Today, I'm installing a machined aluminum replacement from AGA Tools. Full disclosure, I have no affiliation with AGA, but I'll link it down below along with all the tools you'll need for this project. Even though the part is small, getting to it is rather involved, which is why the dealership charges a lot for this job. So if you've got the tools and you're physically able to, you'll save a ton of money if you can DIY this one. For this job, you'll need a jack stands, 10 and 13mm sockets, a 13mm box wrench, T45 Torx bit, pliers, and silicone spray. Since there's a lot of hardware to remove, an electric ratchet will come in clutch. Jack up the rear of the car. I like to lift by the rear subframe with some wood on top for added height. Since it won't be in the way of this DIY, I'm going to leave it here as a third point of contact. When I'm working under my car, I like to put a spare wheel under the side just in case. Remove 6 T45 Torx bolts to remove this plate. Unplug the harness for the exhaust valves. Remove the 13mm nuts for the exhaust hangers. There's only one on each side, so be ready for it to drop while removing the second one. I lowered mine onto a block of wood to keep it off the ground. Remove a handful of 10mm nuts and remove the heat shielding to gain access to the clip. The edges are sharp, so you might want to wear gloves. Okay, so with the exhaust lowered and that heat shielding out of the way, we finally have a good view of the clip there. So just taking a look at the underside of the car, you can see this is where the cables come out from the interior. They go to this clip before branching out into a Y shape where each of the cables goes to one of the rear wheels. Now these little side pieces that actually hold the cables on will eventually break off, and that's where these cables will hang down and touch the drive shaft there. Since I replaced this one, you can see these are still in good condition, but I'm going to go ahead and unsnap those. We'll take this one out and we'll put the new aluminum one in. Use a 13mm wrench to remove this nut. I picked up a ratcheting one just for this DIY. This replacement clip I installed a few years ago is still intact, so I'm using a pick tool to help release the clips. Then pull the brake cables down out of the way. Spray silicone onto the rubber grommet in the center of the clip to lubricate it, then use pliers to pull the clip off. You may need to twist it to help the silicone penetrate. So to install our new aluminum clip, this edge here is going to slide onto that rubber grommet that you saw that was on the gas tank, and then this piece here is the top. It's going to slide into a groove on the edge of the gas tank as well. So this here is the top part, and this bevel side is going to be facing up. And then this bottom piece where the actual cables will go into are going to face the front of the car. So when it's installed, the pieces are going to fit together like this. Slide the top U-shaped piece into the notch on the grommet. The notch on top will slide into a groove on the gas tank. Install the rubber insulators provided in the kit around the brake cables with the slit facing up. They should be even with the front of the bracket. AGA recommends spraying both the inside of the bracket and the insulators with silicone. Push the bracket up with the cable retainers facing forward and secure it with the 13mm nut included in the kit. Alright, so with the new clip installed, all that's left now is to put the car back together. We'll go for a test drive, make sure that there's no weird sounds or anything like that, and then hopefully we should never have to deal with that problem again, at least not on this car. Reinstall the heat shielding, exhaust, and exhaust plate. Don't forget to plug the harness back in. Even though everything fit as it should, I wanted to go for a test drive just in case while I still had my tools out. I did a few pulls and thankfully no grinding sounds. Okay, so just a couple notes. This project is kind of a pain, and I can see why a shop or dealership would charge a lot for it. But again, this is one of those things where if you can do it yourself, you're going to save a ton of money. In AGA's instructions, they said that if you didn't have enough clearance to get your fingers in there, that you could lower the bracket for the drive shaft bearing. So when they did that, it looked like it gave them about an extra inch or so of room to work. Now, I didn't need to do that. I was able to do it without removing that, but that is an option for you. I saw some people said that they did it with the exhaust still in the car. And for me, it was just worth the 60 seconds that it took to lower it down and just give myself some extra room to work and extra room to film. Now, surprisingly, because of how this new aluminum one is designed, it's actually a lot easier to install than the stock one, and you don't need to lower the gas tank, which I know is something that people were kind of nervous about when I mentioned that in my last video. The only real issue that I ran into was those little rubber insulator things that go on the brake cables that go inside of the clip. It was a really tight fit, and I was having a hard time getting that nut threaded on just because of that extra thickness. So you really have to push up hard with one hand on the retainer clip and then try as best as you can to screw that nut on in the limited amount of space that you have there. My one complaint about this thing is it's kind of expensive for what it is. So like I said at the start of the video, this was not sponsored or sent to me or anything like that. I paid $130 for this thing. And I suppose for something that's made in the US and that you should theoretically never have to replace again just because it's such good quality and made out of aluminum, maybe it's worth it. But when you consider that the original one is only $9, to go from $9 to $130 is quite the price increase. This thing is like the Rolex watch of parking brake clips. But anyway, the link to the clip and all the tools and everything that you saw in the video are going to be linked down in the description. Feel free to check those out. Give me a thumbs up if this video is helpful, and share this with someone who needs to replace their parking brake clip.
You f***ing idiot.